Have you ever just needed a hand? I know I have, on more occasions than I care to mention. This is Maverick. Maverick first came into my life about a month ago when I saw him for sale on the Scirocco Register Facebook page for, I believe, the third time. They were asking about £800. No, I didn't buy Maverick. I read the listing and I'd seen it for sale, and I just got the impression that the owners just didn't want to sell. This didn't feel like a voluntary thing. So I did one better. I reached out to the owners and then we had a phone call. This car has been an enormous part of the owners' lives, and the owners have been an enormous part of this car's life. Been in the same family for years and years and years. It was looked after by the same mechanic for years and years and years, and he sadly passed away. This car was their wedding car, and when the mechanic passed away, the owners couldn't find anybody in the area that had the know-how. Maverick passed an MOT last year. That MOT ran out yesterday. Unfortunately, not long after the MOT, Maverick broke down and nobody could fix him. The trouble is, this car's parked on the road, and in Britain, if you don't have an MOT, you can't park your car on the road. So with the MOT deadline looming and him becoming no longer economically viable to fix, Maverick was going to have to go. And while I was being told this story, I don't mind admitting it, I nearly burst into tears, because this car is so very, very similar to my car. My car was my first car. I learnt to be a mechanic on that car. It was my wedding car. Brought my daughter home from the hospital in it. And there was a time, a couple of years ago, where I thought that I was going to have to sell. I even had people coming and knocking on the door. It was real touch and go for a little while there. Now, thankfully, like so many situations in life, the storm clouds passed. Susie's still here. But I never forgot the pain of having to get rid of something that meant so much to me. Knowing that I had a space coming up and the skill set, and knowing how easily I could be in that situation again sometime, I had to do something. So I offered to the owners that if they could cover the transport costs and the costs of parts, that I would fix Maverick for free. This isn't open forum. This is an exceptional set of circumstances. The car needs a fair bit of work, but it's all manageable stuff. As far as I know, the car's not terminally rotten. The car had an MOT till yesterday. I'd like to think that even if we have been sitting for a year, oh boy, things shouldn't be quite that severe. The car has quite a few cosmetic foibles, because this car is on 193,000 miles. So, enough sentimentality. Now you know the story. Let's have a nosy round, shall we? Welcome back to Scirocco Automotive. Project Maverick. Central locking works, that's good. Hello Maverick, I'm Kyle. Nice to meet you. How are we? There it is. 193455. It smells just like a CL I used to have. I'm not sure what the smell is, but it's a cosy smell. All right, well, we've got a clock. Hello. Oh my God, the gear linkage feels amazing. Now, Maverick doesn't start currently. Maverick doesn't run at all. Suspected fueling fault. That's why we're here. But let's see if he'll turn over. They were kind enough to charge the battery, or at least disconnect it, so that's good. Ah. Easy. Did I hear something then? Not keen on that. Bit of a relax. Ah yeah, so the carpet's out right now because we have a leak onto the fuse box. Owner has made a roof for the fuse box. Great idea. We do have an aftermarket sunroof, which apparently leaks like a sieve. I see a problem with that if you don't. Do the electric windows work? Come on. Come on, what a little ripper. This is going to be straightforward, isn't it? Oh, why do I say stuff like that? Let's go and have a look at the business end, shall we? Let's see what we've got going on under here. I mean, it's got an engine. I don't think he noticed. We'll put that back. Absolutely diabolical amount of oil all over the front of the block. So safe to say we're probably going to need a rocker cover gasket. Put that on the list. Thank you. How are we for coolant? He's making slurping noises. Have we got coolant? Hello? Yeah, we've got coolant. Got the right coolant, which is rare. You should run blue coolant in these cars, by the way, please. For Christ's sake, please stop putting OAT in them. Number of times, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that stinks of fuel. Fueling fault confirmed. Like we didn't know that already. The owner gave me some really good info. What's the situation with our timing belt? Because I recognise that noise. There was a definite graunchy noise a second ago. Cobweb! Ethan? All right, cool. Ethan says it's okay. So we have a Weber carburetor conversion. It's a very common conversion. I disagree with the sentiment behind it a lot of the time. The Peerbird gets a bad rap for no reason at all. But that's what's fitted, so that's what we got. I will work with one. Why did that sound slightly racist? We got vacuum line problems. That's wrong. That already won't be helping. Spiders. That needs to be connected to that. And then wow. I mean, this job was worth it for all the excess vacuum hose I'm going to be able to reuse, eh? All right, we don't need any of that. We just need that connected to the right spot. Do we have fuel? Diaphragm is drier than a popcorn fart. We've got cracked fuel lines. The fuel line had been chewed through, unfortunately, by the alternator. Previous guy, not the original mechanic, previous guy left it dangling and the alternator belt rubbed against it. I'm pretty sure that's our smoking gun. No, I'm not kidding. This line is cracked and has a gaping maw in it where it's been dragging on the alternator. So I'm going for it. We're going to put some brake cleaner down this and we're going to see, because I think it will. I don't think the fuel pump is able to pull fuel at the moment because of that. So we need to get some fuel hose on order and see what happens. Will that do you? I reckon that'll do you. I think this will start. That'll do nicely, my friend. I think we can work together. This car has had a brand new fuel tank maybe 2 years ago. That's a very common problem on Scirocco's, but we haven't got to worry about it. My God, there's a lot of oil down there. Ooh. All right. We'll let that be the sofa at home's problem. He's a runner. The engine's very rattly, not surprised in the least. So what we're going to do, we're going to unplug the King lead from the distributor cap so the engine can't fire. We're going to crank on it until the oil light goes out. We'll be interested to know if we actually have fuel, because that needle doesn't seem to be moving. Okay, right, anyway, let's crank until the... There we go. There's definitely a noise. I'm a little concerned at that noise. Not enough to stop, because I don't think it's anything terminal. I've heard them make that noise in the past and it just clears on its own. Air filter situation. Not great, but not terrible. It was nearly a through and through. How stiff is that hose? Suggestive. This Weber is pretty howling. That's nothing a trip through the ultrasonic won't fix. We're connected. We've built enough oil pressure just then to get oil, thank you Kyle, to the top end. So hopefully this should be a little bit less rattly this time. Let's try it again. Ooh. I'll go ahead and connect that up. We're just going to run the car on brake cleaner for a couple of seconds and just ascertain what's going on. There were concerning engine noises mentioned upon last drive, so we need to check. Can you tell I've done this before? I'm farting a stink that we should try and fix this fuel line and see if we'll pull fuel from the tank. It's not been sitting all that long. The carb needs cleaning anyway, so in for a penny, in for a pound, you know. I'll be back. I need to see if I've got some fuel hose. I hope I have. This is just a quick bodge. Fuel line is very stiff anyway, so I'm just literally going to let a piece of copper line in. That's the worst party toy I've ever come across. That, flapping in the breeze like that won't be helping anybody. Do we have any? We've got a little bit more crush left on there. Right, I want to see if this will physically suck fuel up from the tank. Mm-hmm. Didn't mean to do that. That's a 10. Very dilute, terrible time to have a cigarette. We'll try it. Right, they will meet there, that's good. We need to help this fuel pump out as much as physically possible right now because it's dry as a bone. From that horrible reedy sound it's making, I wouldn't mind betting it's probably not going to pull. This is bodge-tastic. I will grab some fuel line on the way into work tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to get a screwdriver. From the way that the fuel's burning my lips, I'd say it's probably not totally dead. So, what's the plan? Well, obviously sort the fuel line out, spray some brake cleaner down it. The reason for that, this has a mechanical fuel pump that operates faster the faster the engine turns. So if you want to prime it and fill the carb right quick in a hurry, what you do is squirt brake clean down, get it to fire up. That's going to turn over much faster than if you're turning it over on the key. That's looking much tighter. We're still a bit perished. Let's just see. I need you guys to be my eyes. Keep an eye on the fuel filter for me. In that case, loads of that and pull on the choke a bit, I think. It looks like it might be working. Let's get our fuel pipe undone a minute. See if that fuel pump's sending fuel to the carb. Dangerous, obviously, don't spray fuel all over your engine bay. I'm just cranking. The fuel filter is not filling, but that could be any number of things. Do you petrol? We do not petrol currently. Oh yeah, big air loss there. And I'm not talking about my head. All right, let's just bump the key and see if we get anything at all. Nothing. We have a problem with fuel delivery then. The pump seems like it's kind of trying, it's just not overly enthusiastic about it. There's so many cracks in this fuel line, including a load down there. I'm going to try and clamp the return line for a second, try and force suction. All right, so I can pull fuel up that filter, no problem at all. It's not even trying, let it dry as a bone. I'll tell you what though, I'm hearing airy gurgles. This fuel line's leaking air, 110%. Now, why would that be a problem? Well, the way these engines run is with fuel. So if you get a big crack in your fuel line, the pump is mounted to the engine block. It's a suction-based pump. The fuel system, from the moment it leaves the fuel tank to the moment it makes it to the pump, has to be airtight. Because if it starts to pull air in, the air very rapidly will replace the fuel. Nothing to panic about though. We will replace this shaggy 15-year-old fuel line. I mean, it's like Play-Doh. We'll try again. And if it's not able to pull fuel at that point, I'm gonna go straight back to where the fuel tank is and we're gonna check there because those lines never get changed. The trouble with that is the ones at the back are very often the ones that cause the problem. The ones at the back are very often the ones that cause the Weber because people get the bucking and stalling problem. Everybody blames the Peerberg, so the people splash out 400 quid on a Weber, and it still does it. I've known people sell the car for the sake of a bit of rubber line. Anyway, it's encouraging, for sure. It would be nice to set up a temporary jerry can type situation, but unfortunately, I haven't got any fuel here now. I had to put some fuel in that 8 Series this morning, because it went away. Very encouraging. All right, it's the next day and goddamn if I didn't get a cold overnight, so apologies if I sound a bit nasally. We have fuel hose. Let's dig in. Morning, Maverick. How are you enjoying your stay at Scirocco Automotive? All right. Probably quite nice knowing that the DVLA is not going to come after you. So based on the stalling, if it's not this, I'm going to go with blocked idle jet. The good news is, one of the few things I do consider a massive boon over the Peerberg is on the Weber, the jets are so easy to get to, so we can just whistle those out. We haven't got to take anything off. Very good. Those look like the original fuel clips. We'll give you some nice tarty new ones, mate. How about that? Sound good? Well, it's all the mod cons. What can I say? We like to please. I wish I was pretending. I'm forever rabbiting on at the cars when I'm working on them. Just gets lonely here, to be honest. Nice to have you guys to talk to. On that note, if you like what you see and you want to stick around, please do subscribe. Right, let's get your dipstick out of the way because that's bugging the pants off of me right now. Do you mind, Pandora? I haven't forgotten about Pandora, by the way. Pandora's been very, very badly behaved. We've been having some very, very typically Italian electrical foibles with Pandora, so she's in disgrace currently. That hose there looks cracked to within an inch of its life too, but we'll try this first. We should have enough excess line. I ain't gonna cut this right now, because what we can do, Laurie. Holy moly! What the hell was that thing? If we need to, we can cut off that cracked piece and move the filter further down because we'll have extra length here. I stabbed myself. Wintry morning today. Oakley dokley. Hang on. We're not doing this. Oh, gee mama, I just every time keep stabbing myself through the haunt. B-Boy Diamond Jubilee by the time this is done up. Alright, yeah, sorry. Maverick, sir. Drives me mad. You can either get ones that are nice to do up, that don't hold anything, or the ones that clamp, and they've got pre-rounded heads on all the... Stop moaning. I get grumpy when I'm ill, sorry. That should be him. Right, let's see if this filter will fill up. Yeah, right, it's pulling fuel. That filter is definitely filling up. Rare is the day that you want to see fuel spraying everywhere. Yes. Right, we have petroleum distillate. Now to get it into the carb. That's just a little incidental amount of fuel. I promise you it won't cause any problems, and I have got a fire extinguisher off to the side. Do be careful with petrol on your car, obviously. I can't be held responsible if you burn your rig to the ground. I'm insured. Not that I plan to burn this car down, but you know what I'm saying. Be sensible. Make good decisions. Right, my friend, this is your big moment and I'm all here for it. We're all rooting for you, aren't we, everybody? All right, yeah, he's a little lumpy, but we're going to let him find his feet. A year is a long time, so we're going to let him warm up. Okay, choke out, pull down unit is working. We'll pop the airbox back together in a second, but we're just going to let it free breathe for a second. No horrible noises. Fuel filter's nice and full. Excellent. Only been running for a few seconds. Let's see what our idle circuit's saying. Slowly bringing the choke in. 1200 RPM's fine. Little gentle run up on the throttle. I just want to see if there's any big bogs or splutters. Yeah. That's fine. I think part of that is because the accelerator pump needs to prime. There he goes. Alright, just a skosh more choke, help the guy along. Alright, does the blower motor work? Excellent. What's the brake pedal like? Oh, brakes feel pretty good. Cool. I'm going to stitch some bits back together in the engine bay, just airbox and what have you. We're going to let him come up off of the stop. We're going around site. I'm going for it. That stuff will be okay there for a second. You feel like stretching your legs, buddy? It's been a while, eh? Knocking noise from the bonnet, but not the engine. That's what matters. Clutch pedal feels all right. We've come up off of the needle. We're still in the warm-up zone, so we'll be careful. You can do this, buddy. All right. Left indicator works. Excellent. Push the choke knob all the way in. We don't need it now. Oh my God, that gear selector feels fantastic. We got some rumbles. We're gonna have rumbles. Brakes. Got to knock the worst of the rust off of those discs. Just gentle. It's 2000 RPM, next gear. We're not here to set any land speed records. Okay. The brakes feel actually very sure-footed. The pedal is a little long and a little vague, but that's okay. Right, suspension noises. Oh, nothing. Amazing. Oh, these cars age so well. The steering feels good. Feels planted. It's not one real vague. We got a few rotational noises, but we've also been sitting a while. Right, we are suffering with a high idle. I wonder if that's the throttle sticking. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We can take a look at that. We've got right-hand indicators and left-hand indicators. What more do you people want? I'm talking to Vosa, by the way, not you. We got indicators. What more do you want? All right, we're in fourth. Superb. Oh, well done, Maverick. Boss man, I don't know how many more times I could indicate that I'm turning left. Right, let's see some of that famous Scirocco turning circle. Very good. Oh, my indicator relay does that too. Right, we're up to temperature. I'm just going to roll into the throttle a bit more. Okay. Yep, he's got the classic Weber stumble, but viable. The way I'm feeling right now, I think we need to bleed up the brakes. Oh, I gotta say, I'm very impressed. This car was dead as a doornail yesterday. And, I mean, I feel like I could drive it to Portsmouth. Yeah, there's good bones in this little car. Okay, onwards and upwards. I see no petrol leaks. Filter's still nice and full. Yeah, I mean, goddamn, well, we need to make a plan now, don't we? Because now it's not just a case of no hope. This thing runs and drives like it was parked yesterday. Never ceases to amaze me. I truly love these cars. Moral of the story, do the easiest thing first. It's a lovely peaceful day. I think I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee and try and get on top of this. This big old schnoz of mine is blocked right up. Okay, I think our next plan should be book it in at Steve-O's, either for a pre-MOT inspection or an outright MOT. An outright MOT would give us a deadline, is the only problem. Pre-MOT inspection, we'd have to pay twice, is the problem. And obviously we're trying to keep the budget as low as we possibly can. I need to have a little think about that one. We'll do what's necessary. And then, obviously we've got a couple of other bits to do. And then I think it would be rude. We treat our guests well here at Skyrocket Automotive, don't we? It would be rude to send this fella away without a couple of little birthday presents. One of the first things I noticed when this car showed up is actually, for its mileage, the bodywork is not too bad. And I think a great deal of this is going to polish up. But something that really, really stands out are the wheels. No, this isn't that sort of channel where we just ad hoc throw a set of £3,000 alloys on. And to be honest with you, even if I was in a position to, I wouldn't want to do that. It's not my place. What we can do is pretty up what's there. These Steelies actually look brilliant when they're clean. I run them on mine. I really like the standard 12-hole Steelies personally. We are missing a beauty ring. So these wheels have a plastic ring what pulls off. And you'll notice up the front there, he's missing. Thankfully, I'm something of a hoarder. It ain't perfect. It's going to need some prep. It's going to need a bit of heat, straightening out. But free beauty ring, finish the set, paint them up. Also, the wheels should paint up fairly easily, as will the hubcaps. The only issue with the hubcaps is they have a black stripe around the outside, but that's missing on this one anyway. And again, I think the vast majority of this will clean off. Let's just do it. This thing is gonna look the nuts. Black car, immaculately silver wheels. I think we'll be there. The wheels themselves are gonna need quite a bit of prep. We can do this stuff right now because we can just take this stuff into the workshop. So I think let's just do that. I'm gonna go and whip them off and we'll see what we can do. Not bad at all. Right, gonna get my highly sophisticated paint booth oven fired up, but they've taken that coat of primer really, really well. So, yeah. By the way, I never claimed to be a sprayer. All right, while our wheel trim's dry, I'm going to fire him up, see how he starts after sitting. And then I think we're just going to make a couple of slight adjustments. The owner mentioned we get very grumpy when we're warmed up. I suspect that was the main crux of the problem as far as the running issue. So let's see if we can take care of that. Yeah, okay. I'm definitely hearing a chugginess. He should be warm enough now to not need the choke. Let me get some screwdrivers. I will say, he seems to be quite comfortably holding a very, very slow idle, which is encouraging. Come on, buddy. Help a guy out. Oh, we can't be that far off. I'm going to turn the idle speed up a minute. Okay. Some funny business going on with the idle mixture screw. Just doesn't seem to be responding like I expect it to. So I think we are looking at an air leak. Apparently previous guide confirmed there is no air leak, and I'm a firm believer in trust but verify. Never hurts to just look a second time. Save yourself a lot of hassle. I mean, this mixture screw is appearing to do absolutely now. Right, we're wound all the way in. There's an air leak. I don't care what anyone says, there's an air leak. Yeah, see the way the engine's picked up now under blipping the throttle, that's a smoking gun for me that there's an air leak somewhere. The reason being is when you kick the accelerator pump, the extra fuel temporarily fills in the gap and the engine picks up like it does now. So let's go get some brake cleaner, see what we see. I'm expecting an engine speed change. I think the engine speed's going to increase. Let's see. Stalling's good too, because that shows there's an issue. Alright. That's the base. 110%. There's a massive air leak at the car. Confirm by pushing down on it. Look at the engine speed increasing. I can hear it. That whistling noise. Alright, let me get a spanner and see if tightening the carb down will help. Not the base, the carb to the base. Do the simplest thing first. Let's just check. Yeah, mounting nuts are loose. So that won't be helping. Ah. Hang on a minute. That also won't be helping. Old mate split to buggery. Alright, let me go and get a vacuum plug. I've run out of vacuum blanks in the correct size. I've made a temporary one. We'll get that sorted properly, but for now, I can hear the vacuum leak chirping. It's coming from down there, 100%. Right, let's nip our carburetor flange nuts up. Oh, so loose. So very, very loose. You notice how the engine speed's changing as I'm tightening them up. They don't have to be singing tight, obviously, but they have to be tight enough to seal. Completely loose. Trying not to lose my fingers in the timing belt pulley because the cover's missing. Trying not to electrocute myself on the coil. Yeah, we've still got an air leak. Idle speed is a much more sensible 850 now. It's a little bit ponderous still. I'm not wholly surprised by that. I'm definitely thinking potential air leak at the intake manifold. Yeah. Now I know there's an air leak at the intake manifold. Question is that going to cause us emissions problems? And the answer to that is yes. Because we're currently having to run the engine a little richer in order to get over the air leak. So Maverick's doing a big wee. What's that about then, bud? It does appear to be from this part here. Good. Hopefully the radiator itself isn't cracked. We will investigate, but not right now. We're doing stuff. That's how you get distracted, and that's how you forget stuff. Cause yourself a problem on the project. You ain't gonna stop it leaking right this second. Just walk away. Make a mental note, walk away from it. All right, he's done good. I'm not gonna push my luck any further. We've got a coolant leak. Nothing to panic about. So mostly at the moment we need stuff to seal. So I'm gonna get a proper Weber O-ring for the idle mixture screw, because that's definitely leaking. We need to figure out what's going on with the base, situation because it's got an aluminium flange fitted instead of the standard rubber one. Quite a common thing, again, because of the fact that the rubber ones like to split. Potentially an intake manifold gasket. That is going to be a bit of a hassle, to be honest with you. They're just not very fun to take on and off on these engines. But it is what it is. Let's be honest. It could have been much worse news, couldn't it? All things considered, I think we're a goer. Have a look under here, check for any... Can't see any mayonnaise. So I think you were right, Ethan. Good call. Fantastic news. We've got our wheel trims drying off in the workshop. We'll just leave those alone for the time being. We still need to touch in the black stripes around the edges. We've got to paint the wheels. And I'm going to go home, collapse in a crumpled heap on the sofa, and order us an intake manifold gasket, a carburetor idle mixture screw O-ring. I might price up a rebuild kit. The carb's looking a bit gammy. Maybe we give it a birthday, but we'll see. We're trying to keep the costs down. So far, no horrible banging knocking noises. I'm suspecting that was to do with the running issue. Personally, very happy days. Very, very happy days. Join us next time where we get Maverick's running issue sorted, potentially book him in for a pre-MOT/MOT type beat. We get the wheels looking nice. Maybe give him a clean up. Then we can start looking for this water leak. After that, it's just a few bits on the list. This is very rewarding. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I very much look forward to seeing you next time. Oh, I need a lemsip. Over this way.